common pet myths debunked by an expert, how to use your nose to find a hot guy, and tips for the bride to avoid all the wedding day drama.
Welcome to Life Love Shopping. I'm Rachel Kay.
Hey there, I'm Michelle Yarn. You know, the movie The Big Wedding, it comes out tomorrow, packed with celebrities, but we're going to talk about how that movie actually showcases a lot of what's happening today with women and their weddings, and how to keep the drama at bay, and how to get the look of the bride in the movie, Amanda Seyfried.
It's very, very cool. Plus, hospital gowns, they're getting a major makeover, and we're going to show you the really awesome design you're going to love.
Okay.
All right, well, going completely paperless has its advantages, but when you have documents going back many years, it may not be worth your time to digitize them. Lifehackers tips on how long to keep certain docs will help you sort it out. Starting with documents you should never get rid of include official papers from government agencies like birth certificates, anything involving a lawyer important to your loved ones or if you pass away, and are a pain to replace. And you can toss these documents when the new ones arrive, like new investment statements or renewed insurance policies. You should shred the old version of these documents as well. And finally, some records can simply just be tossed. Shred credit card and bank statements after 7 years if you need them for tax support. Otherwise, 1 year in the garbage. And taxes after 7 years, so anything from 2006 or before, utility records, you can toss those after 3.
Now, if I could just talk myself into tackling my pile of paperwork and following these tips, you know? Oh my goodness. All right, hot guys, they don't just look hot. Apparently, they smell pretty scrumptious too. It turns out we can spot a hunky man with our noses, the nose knows. So in a new study, these male volunteers, they were given t-shirts to wear for 2 consecutive nights. They were not allowed to use any scented soaps or detergents, basically anything that could interfere with the scent. Then the female volunteers sniffed the t-shirts and rated the pleasantness, sexiness, and intensity of the smells. They found the women who were at the most fertile stage of their monthly cycles preferred the smell of the men with the higher testosterone, read, more body odor.
Right.
So they rated these manly shirts as the most pleasant and the sexiest. What do you think about that?
Totally agree. There's something about that like raw manly scent that's very attractive.
There's just a fine line between manly and stank.
And stinky, right? Like Matthew McConaughey, who says he doesn't wear deodorant and all that.
Gross.
Maybe that's why so many women are so attracted to him.
I think it's gross. I can't get past his arms. We've
That's
talked about
true.
this.
Yeah, but
they're really short.
But the thing with men though is if they wear too much cologne, it's too much.
Yeah.
We only want to smell it when we're
just
like
a little
really
bit
close to you.
Yeah,
you know,
I like it.
Right?
A little bit.
That goes
sexy. A long way.
Yes. So does a little bit of icing, and it's coming off of America's cupcake craze. The dessert became a cultural and economic phenomenon over the last decade, but it's lost its novelty, according to the Wall Street Journal. Crumb's Bake Shop Inc., a New York-based chain, experienced a huge hit in their stocks from 2011 until now, and the demand for gourmet cupcakes sort of exploded in the early 2000s after Magnolia Bakery, a popular, super popular New York chain. It was featured in the HBO series Sex and the City, and the sweet treats have since become central characters in TV shows like the Food Network's Cupcake Wars and TLC's DC Cupcakes. But as a business, making cupcakes has a relatively low barrier to entry, but the field has become super saturated with all kinds of competitors.
They're all over the place, and I'll never forget, I told my husband, this was years ago, I'm like, I would love to open a shop with cupcakes. He's like, that would never do well. You know, a year later, they opened one right by our house. There's a line out the door all the time.
Something you could just rub in his face,
It's too bad they're going out of business, so yeah, because then he'd be coming back at me now.
Yeah, maybe he would be right, all right.
But listen, if it's not cupcakes, then what is for dessert? Well, these are the top 5 dessert trends you will see throughout the year, according to KapowEvents.com. The first one being popcorn. I love popcorn.
Delish.
It's been served in ice cream, chocolate bars. You'll see them as a side dish at trendy restaurants, and the flavors can vary from butterscotch to mint chocolate chip. Even caramel popcorn balls are a way to go. Another one, donuts. Doesn't matter if it's cinnamon sugar, pumpkin spice, bacon. These things are everywhere. You won't hear me complaining about that one for sure. But it's all about the baked donut. Keep that in mind, not deep fried. Also, red velvet. I love red velvet. Bakers are spinning them into cookies, donuts, cinnamon rolls. pancakes, and even graham crackers, and booze desserts. Kahlua cupcake, anybody? Yes. I would love one of those. You don't have to worry about getting drunk, though, since the amount of alcohol is really minimal. And also push pops or cake shooters. So they're just like the ice cream, except the plastic tubes are filled with layers of cake, frosting, sprinkles, alcohol-infused batter, and other fun toppings. It sounds like a lot of alcohol going on here.
And no mess. Those are no mess, those push pops, you know?
Yum.
Well, bridal reality shows like Say Yes to the Dress and Bridezilla is extremely popular, but they are having an effect on the bridal industry.
They are. As if getting to the altar wasn't dramatic enough, these series are now giving brides unrealistic expectations. Yes. Here are the differences between reality and entertainment, okay? What you're seeing on TV, it costs more than you think. Some shows never tell people how much items actually cost, so then you end up thinking you can have it all for 10 grand. Not the case.
Not the case. And last minute changes, those cost money as well. Thanks to reality TV, day of changes come across as easily executed and complimentary, when really many venues have union agreements or other rules that do not enable them to make changes free of charge.
And being a bride does not mean you're always right, all right? Get this through your head. Over-the-top controlling brides who want the perfect day, they're a regular now, and this makes some brides think they're allowed a diva moment, or they're entitled, to act like a bridezilla because other people do it too. Okay, so reality shows may give brides unrealistic expectations, but a lot of movies really not so far off.
No, The Big Wedding hits theaters this weekend, and for many brides-to-be, this storyline hits a little too close to home.
The tables are set. The guests have arrived. But before the ring goes on...
Piece of wedding advice, kid? Stay single as long as you can.
The gloves come off.
My ex-wife is here.
Oh, God.
This is gonna go great.
Your bridal party may not feature a bunch of A-list stars, but it's a pretty common scenario to find yourself as one bride trying to please many people.
So true. So who better to help us solve the wedding day drama than Tally Gallo, director of Solutions Bridal. Welcome, Tally.
Thank you for having me.
This movie looks so good, but it really isn't too far off base. You've got two families, totally different beliefs, cultural backgrounds, all trying to impress one another. How do you keep the bride sane in the center of all this?
It is hard to please everyone, and it is one of those things where you can't, attempt it. You can try, but, it may not happen.
Okay.
So there's ways to bring in different cultural things into the reception, even having two receptions, to make sure that, the different cultures, different religions can really tie into one wedding.
Now, what do you do when you have all those, really pushy people who, that fifth cousin wants to be in the wedding and the nephew? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I actually have a client recently that's just not doing bridesmaids. Really wants
that's like a sin. No bridesmaids.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah, it's really their choice these days. There's not really the etiquette that you have to follow. Another way to do it is just saying only sisters or only my best friends, really, simplifying it. Instead of having 8 bridesmaids, maybe 4 of them really don't want to be in it and don't want the responsibilities.
Yeah, and what about, if they can't be in the wedding party necessarily, can you maybe give them other things to do? Are there other ideas to include people?
Yeah, I think just getting them involved and feeling, okay, this is the responsibility I want you to be in charge of, bachelorette party or bridal shower. Giving them that responsibility, that sense of ownership is perfect.
Yeah. All right, now we have to talk about the fashion in the movie. We are Life Love Shopping. Solutions Bridal carries Amanda Seyfried's dress, and we have it here. This is gorgeous.
Stunning. So stunning.
Tell us a little bit about this gown.
Absolutely. So this is by Thea Couture. It's a newer designer that's based out of New York. He was actually a model in Ireland for many years. Started working for Badger Mishka and then launched out about 1.5 years ago to create this line. And it's over 300 silk petals on the dress.
Those are silk petals. Wow.
Now, how much is it?
Yeah, I'm assuming something like this would be really expensive.
Yeah, it's actually just over $1,000.
What?
Amazing.
I'm so mad I could have had this on my wedding day. What about how you accessorized it? Something like this, people might assume it's a little too busy, but I love the way you accessorized it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lace veil. Lace is still really hot, so it ties in that element. And then we have the pearls that, of course, really work with the lace. So a long sheer veil would also work with this. And then, of course, the flower detail is a must for a dress like this.
Now, what happens when you say your mom maybe wants you to wear her dress or incorporate something of hers? How do you incorporate the old stuff with the new?
Very easy. So a lot of moms' dresses were lace, so we can actually take that lace, restore it, make a lace veil out of it.
Oh,
she's so smart. I know, we're all like, what?
totally blown away.
What about like jewelry? What if it doesn't go with your dress? Can you do it some other way?
There are other things you can do. Like, let's say you have mom's necklace and just really clashes. Maybe it's too formal for a dress like this. You can wrap it around your bouquet and have like maybe that jewel piece like as a centerfocal on your bouquet.
And I love how you did the pearls on her too. Like
pearls,
I wouldn't have thought you could do that, but it looks really, really pretty. You guys deal with brides coming in all the time shopping for their perfect gown. If they have a huge group with them and everyone has an opinion, how do you make sure the bride still gets what she wants?
Absolutely. We normally talk to them beforehand. We sit down with everyone and we just go through, okay, this is Bride's Day. We want this to be a positive experience.
Okay.
And we just ask the bride, what are you looking for? And we make sure that everyone with her sees her Pinterest board, sees her vision, understand, okay, this is what we're looking for.
Well, thank you, Tally. We really appreciate it. And if you guys want to see the movie, The Big Wedding, it hits theaters nationwide tomorrow. Okay, so now once you've got the dress, there's no more room or money, frankly, for buyer's remorse, right?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody's got time for that. So we have some ways to make sure you stay happy with your dream gown. First of all, don't continue to browse once you found that dress.
Just stop. Don't look. Don't go to more stores. You don't have to feel like
There's so many gowns out there. You're gonna find another one you like. It's gonna happen. So don't do that to yourself. Another tip: never buy your dress before you've chosen your venue.
Okay. So you don't want like a beachy dress if you're gonna be like inside, right?
Yeah, things change. You might change your mind down the line. So it's better to pick the venue than the dress. And don't be fooled by pushy salespeople. Some of the stuff they say is true. I used to sell wedding gowns, and sometimes, like if it's a sample sale, that will be the last one. If someone takes it, I can't magically recreate it. But don't let them push you into something.
If you don't feel like that, this is the dress.
Yeah, just take your time, take a breather. And it's funny too, it doesn't always happen with just wedding gowns, right? Like women in general. Yeah, have you ever bought something that you just regretted it later?
Oh yeah, I thought, remember back when like 70s style jumpers were in style? I was like, ooh, this looks good. I bought it, I wore it out in public, and then I put it on the other day. I was like, oh, this is so cute. And I was like, what was I thinking?
Big mistake.
Horrible.
Huge.
Get rid of it. I'm like, okay, I'll keep it in my costume box now.
So
in case I need it for a costume.
See, so we've all done stuff. Yeah, little things. Like I tend to be on vacation and I go shopping and I buy stuff that's cool there, but then you take it out of that setting and it just totally does not work in real life. So yeah, be careful, ladies, for sure.
Yes.
All right, when Life Love Shopping returns, hospital gowns getting a much needed makeover.
Finally.
We're gonna show you what it looks like after the break.
Plus, find out how you can skip the fast food and still eat healthy when you have a super busy schedule.
Now, this one I'm gonna have to pay attention to.
Welcome back to Life Love Shopping. What a fun place to get married.
Such a good idea.
Treehouse, super cute.
Such a good idea. All right, as much as I hate running, I hate it. There's no denying the benefits of running. You burn calories, it's good for your heart, and of course the endorphin rush that you get.
Of course. But in the midst of happy hours, family obligations, and work, it's easy to sort of fall off that training plan. Well, GalTime.com offers these tips to help you stay on track. Okay, first, find and commit to a plan. If you don't have a reason to run, you won't have any motivation to get out the door or even hop on that treadmill or elliptical. So, determine your goals and then find a running program that will help you achieve it. Then find a running buddy that will motivate you and push you to keep going and to actually, well, go out and run. Knowing someone else is counting on you makes it that much harder to quit. And schedule your runs. Remember, it's not that you don't have the time, you have the time, you just need to make it. So scheduling stuff actually really does help. If you put it in your calendar and you plan it out, that will help. What motivates you?
Not a whole lot.
You're starting a boot camp though,
I am
right?
starting a boot camp, yeah, and that's the way I have to do it. For me, that's what works. I have to spend the money on it, and then schedule it, and like you said, you have someone, it's accountability, so I know somebody's waiting for me, and if I don't go, I just wasted my money.
You did.
That's what motivates me, because I hate running. I really do.
I like it.
It's my least favorite.
I like it. It kind of clears my head a little bit. I like getting out, but I'm not like
Different
a
benefits
marathon
for everybody.
5-mile type of person.
Yeah.
Just a light jog.
Different for everybody, but there's no denying this this too.
Nope.
When you're busy running around, making those healthy choices to eat as well can be really difficult. So galtime.com is helping you eat well while you're on a busy schedule. The first thing, do not ever skip meals.
No.
This is one of the worst habits you can have when you're trying to stay healthy and keep the weight down. If you skip meals, though, you slow down your metabolism, and that can lead to more weight gain. You need to also keep your blood sugar regulated. That means you want to avoid too much processed or fatty foods, avoid too much alcohol and sugar, and avoid, again, skipping meals and not eating enough food, because all of this can deplete your body of the healthy enzymes it needs to absorb nutrients. And you need to take time to just breathe. Just breathe. Take as many 5-minute breaks as you can throughout your day and just breathe. Relax your mind, feel peace. This is going to help keep you centered. It's going to energize you, and it will keep you going through a busy day when you can kind of just be like, okay, got to relax, figure out what's going on, stay on track, and just woosah.
A woosah.
Yeah.
Woosah. Just breathe. Have to help you get it together.
Yeah.
Well, hospital gowns are going high fashion, sort of. They have a back. That's right. No more booties hanging out when you walk down the hallway. Finally, someone's designed a decent hospital gown. No offense, but you know, the other one wasn't great. It resembles more of a bathrobe now. The product designer for the Henry Ford Innovation Institute says it's warmer, it closes in the front, it's much easier to put on, and patients feel much more secure. The gown closes with snaps instead of ties, and it's adjustable.
Cool.
So there's an access flap from your neck to your lower back, which allows the medical professionals to check for vitals, but it also closes. So to gain access, you just sort of reach in through the side. Right now, it's available at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit, and patient response is actually pretty positive, and the creators hope to license the design and sell it nationwide. They better do that fast.
Hope they do.
Because that is going to go a long way. You know, they were also saying that a lot of hospitals, patients wear two gowns, one on the front and one on the back.
cover it.
So they'll save money because you'll only be wearing one, and you save on the laundry and all that.
And it's funny too, you would think you know how to wear these things, but I always forget, and they have to remind you, and I'm glad they do. When I was pregnant, it's like doctor's appointments all the time.
Yeah.
You're already so uncomfortable, the last thing you need
Is like your booty
is
hanging
stuff
out,
showing
right?
to everybody, because all your decency is gone anyway, so I think this is great. I hope it comes soon.
Great.
Very good.
Yes, definitely.
Very good. All right, well, we have all seen commercials about sponsoring a needy child from another country, right? But if you're skeptical of how the money will be spent, you're actually doing more good than you think. Here's what you need to know.
I'm Bruce Weidick, Professor of Economics and International Studies at the University of San Francisco. A lot of people are unsure about sponsoring a child because they don't know where their money goes and if these programs actually work. As a child sponsor myself, I was also curious about this, and this led our research team, including my colleagues at the University of Washington and the University of Minnesota, to carry out an independent study of Compassion International's child sponsorship program. We obtained data on over 10,000 individuals in 6 countries, and our results found that the Compassion program has large and statistically significant impacts on the adult lives of sponsored children. We found that sponsorship led to about a 1/3 increase in high school completion, a more than 50% increase in university completion, and a 35% increase in the probability of a child having a well-paying white-collar job as an adult. We also find evidence that sponsored children are more likely to be community and church leaders. To learn more, you can read about the research results in the April issue of the Journal of Political Economy, published by the University of Chicago Press, or on my faculty website at the University of San Francisco.
Well, there's still more to come on Life Love Shopping.
That's right. We are going to debunk some of the most popular pet myths to help you keep your pets healthy. That's coming up next when Life Love Shopping returns. That for a wedding picture.
Pretty cool, right?
Welcome back to Life Love Shopping.
Well, you might be surprised about how much you really don't know about your furry family members. Here are the most popular pet myths debunked.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gallagher. I'm a veterinarian here to talk about some popular pet myths. One myth that we come across is table scraps are okay to feed my dog or cat. And I have to say, I kind of disagree with that. I don't love table scraps. If you think about a 1-ounce piece of cheese like we have here, you feed that to a 20-pound dog, and it's like a person eating 1.5 chocolate bars. You feed that same piece of cheese to a kitty, a 10-pound kitty, and it's like a person eating 3 chocolate bars. Table scraps are empty calories, and we really need to give our pets precisely balanced nutrition. a food like Hill's Science Diet is great because it provides them everything that they need without any excess nutrients that might be harmful to them. It's precisely balanced for their specific life stage and any special needs that they have. All of the pet tips that we talk about can be found at hillspet.com.
Now, when it comes to pets, it's also important to be able to read their body language.
But remember, while dogs and cats may do some of the same things, they can have different meanings. For example, when a tail is held high, for a cat, it can signal they are friendly and relaxed, and actually that they're confident about themselves if it's really high. And then for a dog, it often signals the possibility of aggressive behavior. It's when they're ready to defend themselves.
It figures, too, that cats and dogs are completely opposite.
Totally opposite.
Gotta love that. All right, what about a wagging tail? Okay, it's friendly dogs. They will wag their tail loosely back and forth at a medium height, too, like we talked about, not too high. But when a cat's tail is wagging, watch out. It's probably about to pounce, and usually it means they're annoyed, too, so you want to watch out for that.
Yes, and lying belly up. For a dog, this is a submissive greeting behavior or a way to get his belly rubbed. A cat will lie on its back in self-defense. This position allows her to have all four claws drawn, ready to react to a threat.
And it's crazy, too, if you're not a big pet person, you do need to know this kind of stuff, because like my cat, for instance, if people come over, she immediately gets on her back, and you think it's cute and friendly, but she's ready and rearing to go, so look out. All right, well, make sure you connect with us, by the way, on Facebook and Twitter. We are at Life Love Shop.